Morning, everyone. So good to be back and welcome to Unity of London. I don't know if all of you got the message in that opening song. That opening song reminded us that the door is open to everyone. Christian, Buddhist, or Jew, the door is open to you and all your friends, and hopefully there will be many here on Wednesday night for our Unity Christmas concert. We are rejoicing in the opportunity to be together. We welcome all of us who may be online and all who may be watching later. Unity of London, like unities all over the world, stand for love, joy, and kindness. You might be wondering why I'm not wearing my normal purple today. It's because today is the third Sunday of Advent, and that Sunday is joy. Sorry, it's love. Why would I mix up love and joy? Because they're pretty synonymous. One perpetuates the other. And so we will be having 3 people come up to light the candles today. And that will be announced later on. The first person coming up, and I had asked Patsy if she would come up with Heather, but I don't see Heather. So Patsy will be coming up at the time. She'll light the first purple, and that stands for hope and faith. The second purple, standing for peace, will be lit by Lorraine and Chris. And the third candle, pink, representing love, will be lit by Suzanne or Chuck or both of them. And the people lighting those candles hopefully are not hopefully, they are representing hope, faith, peace, and love. We are a positive path for spiritual living. And if you would like to join in sharing the unity principles, please do so now. God is all good and active in everything, everywhere. I am naturally good because God's divinity is in me and in everyone. I create my experiences by what I choose to think and what I feel and believe. Through affirmative prayer and meditation, I connect with God and bring out the good in my life. I do and give my best by living the truth I know. I make a difference. That's almost a Yahoo, isn't it? And we talk about being the change, and we know that there's one way for us to be the change in the world, to be the positive, living, divine presence each of us is. That's it, period. And it's not asking other people to do things we're not willing to do. It's us being positive, living change. Coexisting. We coexist by allowing others, encouraging others, supporting others to be the voice they are, to share the talents they have, to be who they are in this world, lovingly and wholly, without anybody stomping on their dreams. Encouraging, supporting, and loving. And we provide spiritual education, and that's ongoing. It's one of my favorite songs lately because it's very upbeat. And if you get the urge to stand up and clap, please do so. If you want to just sit there, that's okay too. Hey.
I am an expression of the Spirit, of the Spirit, of the Spirit, of the Spirit. I am an expression of the Spirit, of the Spirit, of the Spirit, of the Spirit. A beautiful expression of the Spirit, of the Spirit, of the Spirit, of the Spirit. Magnificent expression of the Spirit, of the Spirit, of the Spirit, of the Spirit. A unique, unrepeatable expression of God. 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 I am an expression of the Spirit, of the Spirit, of the Spirit, of the Spirit. I am an expression of the Spirit, of the Spirit, of the Spirit, of the Spirit. Right time, right place, an expression of the Spirit, of the Spirit. I'm fabulous, I got it. An expression of the Spirit, a unique, unrepeatable expression of God. 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 I am an expression of the Spirit, of the Spirit, of the Spirit, of the Spirit. I am an expression of the Spirit, of the Spirit, of the Spirit, of the Spirit.
Thank you. So good to see everyone here. And I have a horrible temptation to center out people, but I'm going to restrain myself today. But the people that know me know I am just yearning to center them out, but I won't. All right, here is our Advent wreath. The Advent wreath this year, to me, has extra symbolism. I had promised that I would be part of the weekly Advent study with Wendy Carr. I've had to miss the last two, which is ironic because I love the theme for this year's Advent. And the theme is, be not afraid. Is there anyone in this room who has never felt fear? So if you haven't had a chance to tap in, that's Wednesday afternoons. That's with Wendy Carr and a few other people who want to be part of it. And you can also access that Advent booklet online. Even though we're now into the third week of Advent, there are beautiful messages, profound, that help to lift our spirits. So I invite Patsy, and she was going to come up with Heather. I don't see Heather. So I will invite Patsy to come up representing and lighting the first candle, representing hope and faith. That's the purple candle. And Lorraine's given her instructions on how to use that. There, yay. Requires strength of the digit. Thank you, Patsy. There you go. Did just fine. And the second candle, representing peace, will be lit by Lorraine or Chris or both of them. And Lorraine brooded around and found our Advent wreath. I don't know where it was hidden, but she found it. Oh, you can do it. Yes, you can, because you showed Patsy how. Almost. Yay, Lorraine. Thank you. See, there's always a lesson in everything. Sometimes it's difficult to generate peace, but you just keep on pressing on. And the third candle will be lit by somebody who showed such creative imagination. When you walked in that front door today, I hope you took a look at your right-hand side because you saw brilliant, lovely bulletin boards, bright blue. Yay. And that bright blue representing faith, and the bulletin boards representing the creativity and the love of Suzanne Semple. So I'll invite Suzanne and Chuck to come on up together and light the pink candle representing love. Oh, there, Chuck did it so easily. Yay. Thank you, Chuck. Thank you, Suzanne. Thanks to all of those who lit candles today. Our prayer chest is always there, always available for you to affirm the wholeness and wellness of people you love. You can put your own name on that paper if you want. And you know that you can call Silent Unity 24 hours a day, and someone on the other line, the end of the line, will respond with patience, love, and kindness. No judgment. None. That's a gift. We also have prayer chaplains today. And Dawn is so faithful. She's so awesome. Dawn is sitting in the second row right in front of Larry Baker. And she will be in the prayer room up the little orange steps. Should you like to pray in confidence with Dawn, Wilda will be online. I don't know if Wilda's listening right now, but Wilda will be having hip surgery on December 24th, the day before Christmas. And on our prayer line, Dawn and I heard her positive spirit just shining through. And she's already arranged for a trip to a hotel in Sudbury where she'll stay with a friend overnight. It's almost as though she's planning this little mini vacation. So that's a tribute to Wilda's faith. Let us now prepare to go into our prayer. I invite you to close your eyes if you feel comfortable, to breathe in the elements of hope, faith, peace, and love, all strong and vibrant in each of us. As we breathe that in, we celebrate our divine presence in this world. We hold in loving prayer today all of our Unity of London members, those who may be traveling soon, those who are traveling, those who may be restoring themselves to wholeness and health. We hold in prayer anybody who is homeless in our city and throughout the world. But those of us who have so much, be willing to share. Take a moment now to whisper the names of those close to your hearts. May the love and the joy of unity spread throughout the world. May the love, the joy, the hope, the faith, the peace that is in with you spread to your family, your friends, and your community. Amen. I guess we're meant to still be in prayer. It is my honor to invite up our Unity of London president and platform assistant for today, Renee Sawa, to share the daily word.
I jumped up real quick this morning for some reason. Good morning, everyone. How's it? Today's daily word is love. On my Advent journey, I abide in love. One of the most beloved verses of Scripture calls me to recognize love as the greatest of spiritual blessings. Today, I will take the words of the Apostle Paul to heart and abide in love everywhere I go. To the marketplace, I spread my warmth with kind interactions with clerks and fellow customers. At meetings, whether work-related or social, I offer words of cheer that greet everyone as beloved child of God. I express my love in moments of unconditional appreciation to all people. The more I look for reasons to share my love, the more I will find. Especially during the Advent season, there are many opportunities to visit, to care, to give. I will choose the ones that fill my heart to overflowing. Today, I will abide in love. And now faith, hope, and love abide, these three. And the greatest of these is love. 1 Corinthians 13:13. Our speaker today is Tony Orvidas. Tony is a lifelong student and teacher on spirituality, metaphysics, and abundance manifestation, an experienced mentor, speaker, trainer, and author of Using the Law of Attraction. Tony has been an active member of Unity of London since 2012 and is a past president of the board of directors. With his talk titled The Joy of Judgment, please help me welcome Tony Orvidas.
Thank you, Renee, and good morning, Unity of London. Kind of weird to be wearing a tie again. Things have changed over the years. Remember, we always used to wear suits and ties. I remember my dad always having to wear a hat too. Anyway, today's message is titled The Joy of Judgment. Now, tell me honestly, doesn't it feel good to judge someone? To be judgmental, to feel superior, to be better than, to be self-righteous? Well, I think it does. I think it can be a rather joyful and empowering experience. But is it a good thing? Let's look into that. Oh, by the way, I should tell you for information, before we go any further, spell check told me that judgment and judgmental are spelled without an E after the G. So there you go, I was wrong again. Anyway, in metaphysical terms, judgment means a mental act of evaluation through comparison or contrast. It's a faculty of the mind that can be exercised in two ways, from sense perception or spiritual understanding. If it's based on sense perception, hello. You could just give her a click. Its conclusions are fallible and often condemnatory. Doo-doo. Hang on, because the good stuff's coming. All right. So being a judgmental refers to the tendency to form opinions or make evaluations about people, situations, behaviors, often in a critical or negative manner, right? A judgmental person, someone like me, for example, typically assesses others based on their standards, beliefs, or biases, which can lead to unfair or superficial conclusions. Now, synonyms for judgment and judgmental include critical, severe, carping, disapproving, scathing, disparaging, fault-finding, censorious, and Pharisaic. Now, Pharisaic, that was in reference to Pharisees, who are mentioned a number of times in the New Testament. Jesus of Nazareth took a couple of shots at them, since some of them were known for emphasizing or observing the letter but not the spirit of religious laws. They pretended to be highly moral or virtuous without actually being so, and were considered hypocritical, self-righteous, and sanctimonious. Maybe like some of us, but I digress. According to Alethea, she's a writer for Loner Wolf, being a judgmental person essentially means thinking, speaking, or behaving in a manner that reflects a critical and condemnatory point of view. There's that word again, condemnatory. When we are judgmental, we are critically nitpicking and finding fault with another person, group of people, idea, situation. In a nutshell, we are seeing another person, group of people, idea, or situation from a filter of black, white beliefs, our own, condemning something or someone as bad, stupid, unworthy, maybe dangerous. Judgmentalism also extends to ourselves, leading to problems such as low self-worth, depression, and maybe even anxiety. When our inner judge is balanced, we're able to make clear decisions and avoid potentially dangerous situations. But there's a big difference between making judgments and being judgmental. Making judgments comes from a balanced and neutral mind. On the other hand, judgmentalism comes from a lopsided and reactive mind that is seeking to protect itself from being hurt by others. We could therefore say that judgmentalism is actually a defense mechanism. It's a type of conscious or unconscious technique that is used to protect our ego. The ego is our false self, the I that most of us identify with. The purpose of the ego is to keep us safe and separate. They're survival instincts. So as a defense mechanism, judgmentalism finds something to dislike or condemn about others, but it benefits us in a number of ways, making us feel superior by inflating our egos, thereby giving us a false sense of self-worth, avoiding our own faults by pointing them out in others, and protecting us from being vulnerable, perhaps being hurt by others. Now, when I first began to think about the subject of judgment, I thought of myself as being quite non-judgmental. I mean, I'm pretty well advanced spiritually speaking, wouldn't you think? But when I considered the subject further, started to write down situations and people I've judged in the past, or maybe even still judge, I was admittedly quite shocked and rather disappointed in myself. Let me tell you about some of those judgments. Judgments of mine that might even apply to you. Some of you may feel offended or even angered at what I tell you, while others may find one of them may be a little bit humorous or even agree with some of them. And that's okay. Please remember, I was raised in a very right-wing conservative evangelical-like household. I was well indoctrinated. My dad was a major bigot. He would have put Archie Bunker to shame. So I had quite a few judgments as I was growing up. It wasn't until I was in my later teens in high school, eventually university, that I was really exposed to and befriended people of different sexual persuasions, cultures, religions, politics, color. So here they are in no particular order, some judgments I've had in the past that I may be ashamed of and have therefore released. Those that I continue to have and some new ones. And I got to tell you, I have a pile of them. And here are just a select few. Polygamists, pedophiles, people who don't like pets, social media addicts, gamers, pornographers, child and wife abusers, gun owners, people who participate in wars and killing, whiners, drivers who do not use their turn signals, or those that hog the passing lane on the highway, carnivores, government bureaucrats, corrupt and self-serving politicians, comedians who use hurtful, insulting, or vulgar humor, immigrants who can't leave their hate and prejudice behind them when they come to this country, self-righteous people, guys with man buns and big beards, Women with implants, okay? Botox, cosmetic surgery. Rappers, rapists, flag wavers, cheaters, adulterers, separatist Quebecers, hunters and fishers, folks who like romantic comedies and Hallmark movies, intolerant Albertans, people without a decent stereo in their house or speakers, because I then have to listen to their lousy, tinny little music on these little speakers. You can see I really get excited about some of these. Reality show stars, game show hosts, litterers, liars, thieves, journalists who work for garbage magazines and websites, personal watercraft users making noises on a quiet lake up north, people who eat takeout all the time, learn to cook, guys with loud pipes on their motorcycles or cars. There you go, Chuck. E-bike and mini scooter riders who use the sidewalk as their lane. I could go on, but I won't. And Bonnie's already told me I've already said too much. Now, Joan Borisenko, in her little handbook called Pocket Full of Miracles, tells us when we catch ourselves thinking belittling, judging, critical, or snide thoughts, we're on the way to surrendering old habits of mind and planting the seeds of kind, encouraging thinking. Awareness is an important aspect of cultivating kindness. When you catch yourself thinking uncharitable thoughts, mentally resolve to stop and send out more kind, encouraging thoughts. The people I judged were actually reflections of my own self-righteousness, paranoia, and fear, she writes. Bring someone you judge to mind. Imagine the pain, fear, and ignorance that led them to behave in a way that you felt was inappropriate. See it as a thick black smoke that obscures the true light in their heart. Breathe the smoke into your heart and return your light to them. It's called Tonglen meditation. It's one of the most powerful practices of forgiveness and compassion that one can learn, and something that I shared with you in a previous message here at Unity. Now, being critical of others is a conditioned mind habit that arises with little or no provocation. The snap judgments we make about people or situations are powerful negations of love that reinforce the ego's sense of fear and separation. Tonglen's a wonderful way to extend the practice of non-judgment and erode the sense of us versus them that underlies the tendency to judge. Today, be aware of the judgments you make whenever you catch yourself judging someone. Imagine you're breathing in their pain in the form of this black smoke, and breathe your peace and joy back to them. Exhale love and healing. Michaela Afalayan, she writes for website Conscious Rethink. She offers us 19 tips we can use to stop being judgmental. Judgmental towards others, that's tips 1 through 9. Yourself, tips 10 to 12. And in your relationships, tips 13 to 19. We're going to go through them, but don't worry, I'm going to do it quickly. Number 1, develop self-awareness. Observe your thoughts, recognize when you're being judgmental. Initially, it might be a little hard to see when you're making assumptions about someone because you've been doing it for a long time. Jumping to conclusions comes naturally to you, right? In developing the self-awareness, you're trying to look for patterns. What situations, people, or what environmental situations are you more prone to be judgmental or not? Examine yourself. Why do you feel the need to judge? Be honest with yourself and unwrap why you feel the need to judge other people. Dig deep to find those reasons behind your assumptions. And when you've drilled down to the underlying issue, deal with it. Figure out what triggers your judgmental mindset. Try to understand what triggers your assumptions. Is there a past trauma that the person or situation caused you to recreate? By not dealing with the trauma that you experienced in the past, you are reliving it, and you're allowing the trauma to keep you as a victim. Expand your social circle. If your social circle looks essentially like different versions of you, get out, meet different new people, befriend people of different religions, mingle with those who have different socioeconomic status, interact with people of opposing political views, discuss your differences, and then talk about your similarities. Be curious. When you meet someone new, ask them about themselves, their culture, way of life, their thoughts on a particular subject. Listen. Aim to learn something new from them. They just might open you up to a different perspective you never considered on a particular topic that you thought you were an expert on. Even if you don't agree with them, you can agree to disagree. Step out of your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is very familiar. It's safe, right? But it's also boring. Broaden your horizons. Do something you wouldn't normally do. Attend a cultural event that you would not normally go to, or try a hobby that normally wouldn't appeal to you. Travel. Mark Twain, a famous American author, once said, "Travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness. And many of our people need it sorely on these accounts." He continues, "Broad, wholesome, charitable views of men and things cannot be acquired by negating and vegetating in one little corner of the earth all one's lifetime." Visualize saying out loud, how embarrassed would you feel if your brain filter stopped working and you started saying every negative, judgmental thought that popped into your head? Wow. If the idea of saying your thoughts out loud makes you feel a bit uncomfortable or maybe even horrified, work on changing them. Frame those criticisms into compliments. For every criticism or judgment that you make about another person, think of a compliment. And then before long, your brain will skip right over the negative parts and you'll start seeing the positive aspects of people more clearly. Let's move on to tips to help you be less judgmental about yourself. Use the deep breathing positive affirmation combo. Now, as Unity members, we're well acquainted with affirmations. When you're feeling overwhelmed, stressed, or just need to stop negative and judgmental thoughts running around in your head on repeat, try the following deep breathing positive affirmation combo. On the inhale, say, "I am." And then on the exhale, add the rest of the affirmation. Write down your judgmental thoughts. Write down those negative and judgmental thoughts you have about yourself in a journal or secure place. Read them back to yourself. Then reframe what was written and tell yourself what you'd tell your best friend if they had such negative thoughts about themselves. You would emphasize positivity, wouldn't you? Work on your inner self. Work on your inner self so you don't punish people for your own insecurities, your feelings of inadequacy, your low self-esteem issues. We all have them. Or for the trauma you may have suffered in the past. And now for some tips to help you to avoid judgmental behavior in your relationships. Don't project your shortcomings onto others. Is it possible your judgments are coming out of your own shortcomings or feelings of inadequacy? Deal with those insecurities and stop projecting them on others. Give them the benefit of the doubt. It's possible your conclusions are completely right. You might be 100% correct on your assumptions, but you could also be totally wrong. Remember the 4 agreements? Number 3 is do not make assumptions. Stop assuming negative things and give people the benefit of the doubt. Put yourself in their shoes. Walk a mile in their moccasins. Sitting on your high horse to cast judgment on other people is pretty easy, isn't it? Makes you feel good. Well, according to Mike Dooley, If you could actually stand in someone else's shoes to hear what they hear, see what they see, and feel what they feel, you would honestly wonder what planet they live on and be blown away by how different their reality is from yours. You'd also never in a million years be quick to judge again. Know that everybody's doing their best. No one's perfect. We've all made mistakes in the past, eh? And we're bound to make more in the future. But we're all doing the best we can from where we are with what we have, right? Separate the action from the person. People are more than their mistakes or their actions. They're divine reflections of the source. Stop gossiping. Rarely does any good come from gossiping, yet we still do it. That's because sometimes it's just so juicy, it's hard to walk away from. Gossiping often spreads lies about innocent people. It ruins reputations, and sometimes without the victim even knowing anything about it at all. Stop gossiping. Give people a fair chance. And finally, be complimentary. Look for things you appreciate about the people around you and then let them know throughout your day. Pay sincere compliments. So there you are, all 19. Now let's look at another and maybe even better way to overcome your tendency to be judgmental. Here's a brief excerpt from Bronte Colbert's article from the Unity Advent book called Be Not Afraid. Oops. It's called Love. This Sunday in Advent, we celebrate love, a love that stretches beyond the list of what we treasure most, beyond people and things we find easy to love. This love is about giving, expressing, and exuding love through difficult times. It's a practice of seeing the bigger truth of who we are and the divinity that exists within all of us. During this Christmas season, we're reminded to open ourselves to an even deeper and wider love. Opening our minds and hearts to the healing, forgiving, empowering energy of love includes opportunity to practice loving kindness, watching our words, and being aware of our judgment of others. This is a season to demonstrate what love truly is and to acknowledge the truth that we are all unique expressions of God, whether we see and remember it easily or not. Sometimes we might automatically respond to people, the news, and even dear ones with judgment, anger, or criticism. Well, love is a gift that we can withhold or generously offer. When we respond with love, we see through the lens of understanding, knowing that everyone is most likely doing the best they can from where they are in the moment. Our response, whether it's kind words or an understanding look and smile, sends them the healing energy of love. Even small acts of kindness carry powerful effects. Your positive energy, the words you speak and the thoughts you share, can have a huge impact on another person's well-being. Consider these things during this week and holiday season. Watch for ways to practice acts of loving kindness. As you respond with love, love will return to you multiplied abundantly. So as we come towards the end of today's message, let's recall the daily word reading we heard earlier. We were reminded about the importance of spreading our warmth with kind interactions, offering words of cheer, and expressing unconditional appreciation to everyone, all people. We were encouraged to abide in love. Love, the antidote to judgmentalism. And with that, let's go into meditation. Sit back, relax, Take a deep breath, close your eyes. The guided portion of today's meditation is based on a reading from Dr. Joan Borisenko. Let my words be yours. Divine Spirit, may I feel the balm of your love restoring my soul and washing me clean of every attitude that distorts and negates the flow of your love through me. May my heart shine with its true light, allowing me to see all people without judgment, so that the great peace of your understanding can manifest in my life and on this earth. Divine Spirit, assist me in maintaining an attitude of non-judgmental awareness throughout today and each day going forward. I now take a few deep breaths and I bring back the memory of a moment when I felt judgmental towards someone or something. I will now spend a few quiet moments imagining that instead of judging, I'm sending them my love. I am breathing in the smoke that surrounds their hearts and exhaling love, light, and healing. Gradually come back to your world of earthly delights, secure in the knowledge that all is as it should be, that we are all one, judgment-free, in the Spirit of Christ. Amen.
Only if Jim were up here, he'd say that message really resonated. That's what I'm saying. Totally resonated. What a perfect example of positive spirituality and practicality. I doubt that any of us can go out of this room today feeling less perceptive of our own judgmentalism. Thank you so much for, it's not just research, it's the way you share it. You shared it unemotionally and in a strange way that added extra impact for me personally. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
There will come a day, and it won't be long. I will stand right up. I will be so strong. I'll be filled with the light. I'll be open wide. Every cell in me will be unified. I will raise my hands, I will lift my eyes, I will shout to the world, I am alive. I will dwell in the now, I will flow like the wind, I'll be solid on the earth, like I never have been. I will build a life of beauty, fill it up with love, manifest all I desire, whatever I dream of. I'll have all that I need to be, the everything I am. The love of God will flow through me, pouring through my hands when the balance is true. When the balance is true. There will come a day, and it won't be long. I will stand right up. I will be so strong. I'll be filled with the light. I'll be open wide. Every cell in me will be unified. I will raise my hand. I will lift my eyes. I will shout to the world. I am alive. I will dwell in the now. I will flow like the wind. I'll be solid on the earth, like I never have been. I will build a life of beauty, fill it up with love, manifest all I desire, whatever I dream of. I'll have all that I need to be, the everything I am. The love of God will flow through me, pouring through my hands when the balance is true. When the balance is true. Yeah, when the balance is true. There will come a day, you know it won't be long, that I will stand right up. I'll be so strong. I'll be filled with the light. I'll be open wide. Every cell in me will be unified. I will raise my hand. I will lift my eyes. I will shout to the world. I am alive. I will dwell in the now. I will flow like the wind. And I'll be solid on the earth, like I never have been. I will build a life of beauty, fill it up with love, manifest all I desire, whatever I dream of. I'll have all that I need to be, the everything I am. The love of God will flow through me, pouring through my hands. I will build a life of beauty, fill it up with love, manifest all I desire, whatever I dream of. I'll have all that I need to be, everything I am. The love of God will flow through me, pouring through my hands when the balance is true. When the balance is true. Oh, when the balance is true. The balance is true. When the balance is true, I will raise my hand. When the balance is true, I will lift my hand. When the balance is true, when the balance is true.
I pray that that song will remain in your mind, that at times when you may feel unbalanced or out of kilter, that you'll think about your own balance. Our offerings can be made in so many different ways. We know about all the ways if we come to Unity regularly, can just be cash put into the little bag that's coming around. Could be tithe, could be interact. However you choose to donate financially, know that that helps our unity. It helps us to pay our bills, keep the building strong. You also have an opportunity to share your talents and your time. And I promise you, standing here as your spiritual leader, that I will support and encourage all volunteers. Every single one of you who may have an idea that you believe will help us at Unity of London is welcome to come and talk to me about your idea, to share your idea, to know that your idea will be nurtured and encouraged. And I invite you now to join in our offertory message. It is there. It is coming up. There we go. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And thanks to Kate and Renee who collect. Special announcements. There is a brief town hall update. Stay seated after the service. Okay. This is our silent auction. Whoops. Oh dear. Okay. Our silent auction lives on. And I know that Lorraine Rynan, with some help, put an enormous amount of work into creating all the posters out there for the silent auction. A lot of you brought in your items. I know that our Toastmasters always take a look at them and wonder how long they'll be there. Well, today's the last day. The auctions close at 12 o'clock. All the funds from those auctions go to our unity. So I know that many of you are decluttering and you might be thinking, last thing I need is something else to bring into my house. My spouse at home will be saying, no, please do not bring anything else home. However, that being said, there might be something that appeals to you, and there are still some beautiful items out there. First donations were delivered already. Oh, wow. And look at all the donations we still have. December 9th, 95 pounds of donations went to the food bank. Ooh. And all those items were all donated, thanks to you. So people will be warmer and a little better fed thanks to us. The donations will continue. They will be accepted until January 12th. And I know one of my dear Toastmaster friends said, well, could we bring donations to our Toastmaster potluck? And I said, absolutely. So these lovely boxes, I think decorated, I think by Lorraine a couple of years ago, are always welcoming your gifts. And there's no limit on how much you give. Our music concert is coming up this Wednesday. Oh, so hope that you are all coming. And that if you haven't already purchased your tickets through Jim, you better do it soon, because I imagine this place will be sold out. I imagine. And Jim is with us right now. I would like Jim to stand up and hear a huge round of applause for Jim Chapman, who does so much musically. He's too modest. He doesn't want to stand up, but Jim, we know who you are. He doesn't have a long beard, Tony, just a short beard. So please do come. There will be lots of treats, and Amber is, I know that Amber is working hard to get people to help. And Sylvia will be in the bookstore. I'll be helping Amber to pass out food and drinks. And I think Carol, I don't see Carol here today, but I think Carol Moore was going to be bringing some treats. And anybody who receives treats like food or drink, that's a love donation. We're not saying to people you have to pay $1 a cookie or anything crass like that. Jim? Okay. That's a super question. And Dan asked me the very same thing. I'll answer the first part is that there are a lot of items in our bookstore that would make wonderful Christmas gifts. And we have books, we have CDs, we have cards, and there may be other items that Lorraine knows about. I saw her hand up way back there. Those will be our main items as far as I know. Lorraine? Thanks, Lorraine. If you haven't been in our bookstore, there are little treasures in there. You might think it's just books. It's not just books. There are other little treasures hidden around. So um, those will be our main items. There will be a Christmas lottery draw, and that will be at the Christmas music concert. And that will allow the winner of that draw will receive a $100 gift card to Earl's Restaurant, an upscale eatery, plant-based menus available. So those tickets will be available at the end, and that draw will happen after. By the way, all of these draws, I know, and you know, most of the money comes out of your pocket. So it's your way of contributing back to Unity. But somebody will be a big winner. So that's kind of nice. Bookstore feature. And this is Jim Chapman's book, Come Back to Life. And there are some of the other items in the bookstore. So I'd forgotten about magnets. Magnets are fun. And ornaments, a lot of children's books, and Jim's book, which is a super story. Let us now just affirm. The light of God surrounds me. I am the light. The love of God enfolds me. I am the love. The power of God protects me. I am the power. The presence of God watches over me. I am the presence. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Yea, God. Before we go to the song, there is a sheet on the back table, and this is your chance to volunteer. It is for our candlelight service that will be held next Sunday, December 22nd. And Sylvia has agreed to be the platform leader. Wilda will be reading the birth. I gave her an option of which of the readings she wanted to read. So she'll be reading the birth, but we need 3 other readers, someone to read the Annunciation, someone to read about the shepherds, and someone to read about the wise men. And you may be thinking, well, sure, I'd like to read. What do I read? And because I was frantically searching to try and print it off before I came and printed the wrong thing, I have brought my very own, very old New Testament. If you choose to do one of those readings, you can look it up in my New Testament, but I have to have it back. You'll see in the front, this goes back to, I think, grade 8 or something. So you can see it's an ancient little book. So you could borrow that if you want to do one of the readings, or and you absolutely have to give me back this, or you can borrow my Bible, one of my Bibles. Now, that's only for 2 readings. If you do a 3rd reading, you have to come to my house and borrow another Bible. As well as that, we need 12 people to light a candle. And so the candles are all listed on the back. And please put your name beside the candle, because one of us, probably I, will be reading your name and that you're coming up to light a specific candle that's a specific color. This is your chance to be involved. It's a beautiful service. I always wish it was at night, but it's not at night. But it's dark enough in here that you can pretend it's night. So please, please come out for that. That's December 22nd. And now our final song. We have a tradition that we hold hands, if you feel good about doing that. Now, if people could just stay sitting, I think there was a message about